I finally got the MOFT Dynamic Folio case. This case has a lot of different viewing positions. This shows the 4 most promoted viewing positions, but there are more than 20. I got it in a color light blue and grey, and let's unbox this. We all know that this MOFT Dynamic Folio case has a lot of different viewing angles, which makes this case stands out. And when I first got this case, I was trying to find the best everyday viewing angle for my iPad before I start using it. But I was having a hard time figuring out all the viewing positions, and MOFT only showed the 4 most promoted positions in a video, and the rest is on the card that comes with it. So I'll be showing you all the viewing positions that this case offers in this one video. This case is magnetic, so you just have to place the iPad onto the case and it will attach magnetically. Let's start with the 4 most basic viewing positions, then I'll show you the rest of the positions following the order on the card. For the 60-degree floating theater mode, you just have to connect the 2 circles. To convert to the 30-degree floating creation mode, you just have to press the iPad down from the 60-degree floating theater mode. For the 18-degree dual screen mode, you'll have to connect the 2 lines. Once connected, pull it away from the iPad, and then you can place your phone onto that area. Now for the 80-degree reading mode, you'll have to slide the case under the flap. Now we're done with the 4 main viewing positions, let's move on to all the other angles. The first one is the 60-degree floating theater mode. Once you've done that, you just have to put the iPad the other way, facing down. Then you'll have the 30-degree angle. There are 3 ways for you to make 0 degree, and they are for you to put your iPad onto your lap. To get to 18 degrees, pull the folded case away from the iPad and place the horizontal side on the table. The following one is the 30-degree floating creation mode, which is the second one that is shown in the beginning of the video. The next one is also 60 degrees, but it is converted from the 60-degree floating theater mode to 60 degrees where the iPad is touching the table. For the last one in the first row is the 50-degree angle. Just fold the case backwards, but not all the way, and then place the horizontal line on the table. And now you have it. Now let's move on to the second row, which you have to match the 2 lines. This first one is 80 degrees, similar to the 60-degree floating theater mode, but this is 80 degrees and you get this by connecting the 2 lines instead of connecting the 2 circles. Now when you put it down the other way without changing anything, you will get another 30-degree angle. And then you can put this on your lap to make the 0 degree. The next one, it says 15 degree on this card, but it's actually the 18-degree dual screen mode. So you just have to pull the case away from the iPad and then you'll have the 15-degree dual screen mode. The next one is another way to make a different 30-degree floating creation mode. You just have to fold the case backwards. To convert to the 45-degree, just tilt the case the other way from the 30-degree angle position. Up to this point, I've shown you more than half the viewing angles. Now we're on to the third row, where the first one is the 80-degree reading mode that I've shown you at the beginning of the video. Now you just have to tilt the iPad sideways to get to the 80-degree landscape mode, and then flip the iPad the other way to get another 30-degree landscape mode. For the fourth row, the first 3 are easy to find, but the last 2 were super difficult, and it took me more than 20 minutes and a protractor to figure them out, because the picture on the card does not match the real thing. You'll see it soon in the video. Okay, the first one is actually a 55-degree portrait mode, and it is not that stable, so I'll probably not use this. It's not hard to connect, and you just have to connect the 2 lines after you lift the case off the side of the iPad. As you can see on the screen, the iPad is tilted. This 65-degree landscape mode is quite stable, and the iPad doesn't touch the table, so it won't scratch the iPad with this mode. You just have to rotate the iPad to get to the landscape mode. If you flip the iPad and place it on your lap, then you'll get to the 0-degree mode, and if you place it on the table, you get the 53-degree landscape mode. To get to the 40-degree, you'll have to lift the case off the iPad and then flip the iPad the other way around. We're finally on the last row and only 2 viewing angles left. These 2 are both portrait modes, and you get the first 70-degree mode by lifting the lower side a little bit and pull the case out more to get to 45 degrees. That's it for this video, and I hope this video helped you figure out which angle suits you the most while using the iPad, or convinced you to buy this MOFT dynamic folio case.